Welcome back to another episode on the Coin King channel. I am your host, Down to Crypto TA. I hope everyone is having a fantastic day. Bitcoin is trying to break out of this little flag. It is absolutely struggling. I'm seeing some bearish signals in the chart. They haven't got the follow through just yet. So the setup that I was admiring yesterday, um, not really sure if that's going to work out either at this point. So this is the setup here, and this is the no, we can't come down this low, and this is what I was expecting for us to do, and we even got the double top, and the measured move came down here to this VWAP here with our same section here, which is just a 382 retracement level right here. We've been holding up at the 236, and also something that I had posted about 2 days ago, but I was expecting for it to not work. After reviewing the chart yesterday, I was expecting for this to not work, but when we got the breakout of here, I just did a measured move for us to get up here towards this next area of liquidity, and you can see that we've also been holding that. We pierced it a little bit last night, but we've been holding up on that as well. Uh, so, like I said, I do have some bearish signals popping up. I know I have bear divs. Let me go back. Sorry. I know I have bear divs on this chart right here, which is a 15-minute chart. As we're getting this push up, we had already gotten I call it the thunderbolt. We had already gotten this, but we didn't actually get the full follow through because that white line should have kept descending down. So we've been trying to recover through here, but you can see that is bearishness in the chart right now. I'm starting to see the same thing take place on the 1 hour time frame as well. It's very minor here on the 1 hour time frame, but you can see the slight curvature right here. So I went ahead with the 1 hour momentum break right here, and I went ahead and I entered into a new long position. Like I said, I don't feel like it's going to be promising at all. I just did it just because, just in case. I don't know if it's going to work out. The way I drew this flag here is taking the wicks out of the equation. Because I'm really funny about um, how I draw the trend lines, but it was the only way to really draw it was to take the wicks out of the equation. Otherwise, the wicks would be included, but you can see that this doesn't work. Not with the liquidity grab stuff in here. I could have, just based it off of these two right here, I suppose. But that's what I'm looking at here. Some sort of a flag formation. Daily, we're gonna have some sort of we're gonna have a squeeze on the daily. It'll be red, so it will indicate downward price action. It hasn't kicked in just yet. I'm still waiting for it to come through, but it looks like we are gonna get something like that. If we were still in this trade right here, and a lot of you got a better position when we did that SFP here yesterday, you likely got a better position. I would most certainly take some profits on it. You don't have to. I mean, I would most certainly take something just in case, because anything can happen through here. I did a restart on my PC. A lot of my data got deleted, so all of the AVAX, DOT, Algo, PayPay, and I'd even started looking at costs. I mapped that out yesterday too. When I did the refresh before coming on stream, because I wanted to make sure I didn't have any lagging, which is why I was 15 minutes late also. Wanted to make sure I didn't have any lag. And when I reloaded the charts, all of the information that I mapped out was deleted. And of course, TradingView doesn't have live support. They had a generic answer for me as to why my data might look like it's not there, is how they put it. It might look like it's not there or something because of I don't know. It's ridiculous, but that happens to me all the time. So I won't be sharing those charts this morning because all like I said, all the information was wiped out on those. Um, so aside from Bitcoin, SPY, it's still holding at the resistance yesterday. I don't know if any of you guys actually trade that, but I was sharing it with you. Um, and it might have been a good place to take a short position from it. Um, it's still holding right now, um, but it looks pretty solid. Still hasn't broken. Like you hit the resistance in here, of course, and still holding up above that momentum line right now. Also, still holding up above the 100 here and that VWAP, but I mean, it looks prime for some sort of a pullback, just back into here more than likely. We'll probably hold that as support before it continues up. I was just checking that out again this morning. Let's see. VIX, we had this trend line. Actually, VIX came back down, so I haven't ever moved this. Let's see. Yeah, so VIX might get a pop back up here today. I know that there's supposed to be some confusion about the ceasefire deal. So, could see the VIX pop back up here today, which means some of the stocks and see some decline and quite a bit of stuff today. Uh, I don't know what's going on with that music either. We're still down here near the support level for USDT dominance. Let's see if that's gonna hold up again, and then, like I said, that'll probably reassure me that Bitcoin is probably going to sell off a little bit more. Did get a quick signal, got a quick sale signal on the daily time frame on Bitcoin. I know that, um, which can easily be invalidated. It is a fast signal that's there. And let me go back to that this chart right here. Take a look at oil. Oh, I actually moved the chart one up here. Something's going on with that. So this is how I have it mapped out right here. Following that 5-wave move to the upside right here, where we did get the breakdown from right here into the 786 and that VWAP there. I'm looking at us coming back up. I put it right here between the 50% retracement and the 382 because the mean reversion sits right here. So I would expect for price to come back and kiss that mean. And then if it's going to reject, I don't know where C is going to end. So I just made it a flat just in case it decide they want to hold it right here and then start to shoot prices back up. Let me take out that background. But that's what I figured on this last night. This would be the situation right here. So we shall see. We shall see. When I had did this, when I did the golden pocket retracement on this, I'd actually hold on, let me see what I did. Yeah, extension on this. I did it from a line bias and then I went back to check and see what was what in here. And it was actually, because when you have huge wicks, you might want to take those wicks out and just go with a line chart. But it was a one to one or one, yeah. Fib extension retracement, which makes sense for this 5-wave right here. Prior to that drop, and we had already identified the bearish signal through here. So I look for it to get back into here. Um, at least that's how I had it last night. It had not moved too much last night when I initially was looking at it. But we shall see. We shall see. It's gonna get into here. Let me make sure the mean is still sitting in the same place. Um, yeah, somewhere between that 382 and that 50, unless it's doing something different. But that'll be that for oil. Um, Back over here on Bitcoin. Oh yeah, that is also hold on, let me put it back over. I know we're hitting the point of control. Well, we were close to the point of control anyway. We're close to the point of control in here. It could be that value area low. I deleted that information that was in here for that. But if I go from here to here, no, it's slightly up above that. And see, the only other one would have been for me, how I do mines. It would have been from here to here. And yeah, it's above that too. Hold on, the point. Hold on. I think the point of control just line. I'm not the point of control, but the value area high just hit the same spot up there. So yeah, nothing. Nothing. Just capturing the lows in here right now. But again, the VWAP is rising in here. When VWAP rises, it's supposed to indicate like some underlying strength. Um, but when I'm looking at I don't know what happened to my little music. Try that again. But on the 4-hour, when I look here, um, this continues to look like it's going to roll over. That continues to look like it's going to roll over, and this does not look like it would stand another tap into that momentum, and then we will see a break from that. Likely put in some bullish divergence, but we probably would invalidate what I was looking at for that next move up, which would have been somewhere in here, possibly. I'm a bit higher, but just start with that. All right, so let me see. Today, today we do have core PCE. We do have core PCE. We have final GDP. Then we have a little bit of minor stuff in here, or medium term, mid impactful things such as unemployment claims and final GDP. That's it for today. And um, see tomorrow if there's anything. Yep. It happened again. I don't know what's going on with this app here either. They're giving me a hard time. I tell you, TradingView is giving me too much of a hard time for all the money I have to pay for it. And then the streaming platform is giving me a hard time to be paying my money on it. It's difficult. I'm telling you, it's so annoying. I need my value. But that's it on data that we have today. So all I have is to sit here and see if this is going to play out or we're going to roll over. But to me, it looks like we're going to roll over. So I'm going to stick with that in terms of the 4-hour time frame. 1 hour, again, a lot of bearish signals coming in. So we had a lot of bearish divergence yesterday as well, which is typical if you do if between a 4 and a 5 wave. If that was correct, it's arguable that it may not be. It worked. That's what mattered. I wouldn't try it again, but it worked. Um, See if I can't take a look at some other things in here while I'm waiting on Bitcoin. It'll be older chart data. since the, data that I had was deleted, so bear with me. Um, I'm not gonna do our basic, um let's do XRP. I hear some people still waiting on XRP to go to $10,000 from a video I was watching yesterday, which is crazy. We put this on a higher time frame and see. Actually, let me do a daily. So nothing much has really changed in here for XRP from the last time that we looked at it. I can't remember what this little box in here was for, but that. So yeah, I mean, basically, yeah, nothing has changed. Still holding up at 134. I think we talked about price action coming back down into here, but I can't remember the last time we actually looked at this chart. Final phase will probably be down here at 64 cents, still again by 83 to 40 cents. Push out on a weekly time frame. I know that we had looked at um, I think we had looked at this being about the floor actually. Trying to see if I had it up there. I still think that 64, somewhere between about 83 to 64 is still possible for XRP, but this does kind of seem like the momentum fades right here. Um, this is actually the floor line right here, so it's chopping. So it's trying to reverse from this one 134. It's trying to reverse from here. So if I was doing instead of my weekly levels that I have, I was doing the pivot. Um, see, I would have went with this one. I was doing the pivot, and it is trying to hold here. That's like 130, 131. And my bad. This actually looks like this. It's basically been where the reversals have come in at. Fix that. There it is. Yeah. So that's where the mini reversals have come in from. We'll lock that in. And XRP is back at this right now. So trying to chop up. I think it also may be above implied. Yeah, it is above here. It could still drop down one more time, put in some divergence. I would say it could still do that. It can always come back and kiss that red line again. Um, it could do one of these right here. kiss it or break it. It could always come back and do that. Um, but it is making an attempt right here. And this is 2022. So it broke the floor right there. It was above, it came back down. So it could do something like that here, which in that case, that would still be what I'm talking about right here for XRP. If I just go with that, we could still do that. This is where the breakout came from anyway. So that makes sense to me. But not a bad place to accumulate from right here. Starting here, I think that, let me see if I have it in here because I may not have it over here. I'll just put it here. Um, for the sake of it, I'm gonna go to a monthly, and I can tell you, yeah. So it's not even fully inside of its bear market territory. It's at the top of it, and usually, it comes into it, at least into it. I mean, we only have like two other occasions for it, so it's not a bad place to buy it. But I do lean towards this, and if you go off the monthly time frame, you may want to drop it down to something like that. So just a few pennies off there, and then that would make this more like that on a monthly time frame. Let me just highlight this possible resistance instead of using my weekly levels. That's exactly where it stopped out at on that last little attempted pump up too. Interesting. So that's what I would look for. I look for price action to at least get into that. And then, like I said, at 63, um, maybe it won't do that much. Or maybe it can. I mean, I would still, yeah, I think that it could come down a little bit more. If Bitcoin is reversing from where its low is, then maybe not. But it would make sense for me to not see XRP come back into its bearish. Well, I'm just going to call it accumulation zone. And it's held up really, really well compared to a lot of other things in this regard. So, yeah, good DCA spot right there for XRPZ. I know like Solana had broke through its level, so I'm not gonna even click on that one. See ADA. I know ADA did. It was one that did break it because you can see that pivot down lower for ADA. Let me go to the daily time frame. I'll take that off the chart for a sec. Oof, good lord. Ada had got so stuck in this zone that I must have just tried to highlight this zone only. Let me delete all of this. Yeah, I remember that failed setup right there. Yeah, because Ada had broken through this long-standing trend line right here. And this went all the way back to 2020. And yeah, had got the breakdown. And it even failed the bear market territory. And let's see. Um, yeah, it's on its last leg. Actually, I didn't add the weekly levels, below. So, yeah, ADA I mean, it was bad that ADA broke, this trend line right here, but, ADA needs to hold up right here for sure. I didn't add the additional levels through here. I have to go through and find those. Um, they're not they're not the same as me just putting a trend line on a pivot point. It's not the same as that. It's different information when I do this. So, um, I will find those though, so we'll have them just in case. But this makes sense though. I mean, you look at this pump here all the way to your left, and you can see why it was so easy for price action to fall back through here. It did it again right here where you just had nothing but a line straight to the top. Like there's nothing in here but a line straight to the top. So don't have a lot of support. That's for sure. Let me turn that back on. So it would have stopped out when we got that October 10th wick. It would have stopped there, but we pushed down through it. I mean, it did the same thing back here in that year, 2022. It did the same thing right here. But you can see it had this huge area that it could fall through. If I put it on the 3 month, it's at the low. Yeah, it's definitely at its low. Hmm, I'm too scared to buy some ADA. I changed this to a 28 so I can see what the difference is here. This might not be bad. I would have to see some breaker structure in here for it, but this may not be bad, for ADA. Let me see if that's showing up. No, it's at the top of it. That's weird. That's weird. Let's see if this other one is reading like that too. No, that's not really at the top. I can't get enough data out of this 3 month time frame, but if you are someone that's getting ADA, yeah, I would let this be it, and I would put a stop below here. Like, I wouldn't want to own it if it came lower than that. I don't like wicks as much. I mean, this is exactly my same weekly level, actually, to be exact. Yeah, if you were buying it, I would definitely put a stop below that, but the return could be pretty nice. Don't know where it's gonna pop out at. Um, Weekly wise, it would suggest here, and I said I was gonna take a look at, total 3. Yeah, weekly wise, it suggests here. And then max would be somewhere between the 2, 3. So let me see what that is. So I actually know what this is. I think this is gonna be exactly what I have here. Yeah, pretty much exactly what I have on my weekly level already. So I don't need this, but this is your zone right here. If you're into ADA, I would rather see it, sort of market structure change in here. Mm, I think I had a line on this, but if it does proceed down further, I mean, I would already have cut it if I was, buying it. I would already have cut it if it broke below there, but, there seems to be something right here between this little point right here and this one right here. It has respected this, so that could be some decent level right there for any sort of continuation down at 16. I don't see a good count personally, not through here, especially with the wick. I don't really see a good count right there. Like, Bitcoin is seriously just sitting in that same spot, not moving at all. This was our old setup. That's really old. Um, what is this? Yeah, this was our old setup. We had that inside range. Talk about a sweep and go. Yeah, this is old, old. Maybe I should keep it here for memory. Get rid of that. All right, so I had a 7 and 6 tap. Mhm. I don't have enough data to pull that one. Hmm. Try something else. Mm. It just looks corrective, and that was it. To be honest, it only looks corrective. Uh, you know what? I'm lost. I'm lost on this one. The pullback looks very shallow. It's like a 382 or 50 or something like that. It's pretty shallow. It looked corrective, but I gather it's just continuation. I can see, I can at least see where it failed right here. I can see that one, but as it's trying to come down, it would have only been putting in bullish divergence through here. Would have only put in bullish divergence through here. So the 50, I suppose, would have made a lot of sense, but it still looks corrective. And I suppose that if Bitcoin is continuing to move up, it may be one that follows along with it. I don't actually think that I have. Um, no, I don't have it in here. Mm. It's holding up really good against Bitcoin. So, yeah, it's holding up really good against Bitcoin. So maybe it gets into here. Maybe it comes up, just takes out this little high right here. Um, I don't see it really doing any more than that. Not right now. It just looks corrective and that's it. But maybe, just maybe, it comes up, gets to about 44, 46, just taking out this high right here. I don't see a major issue with it. Yeah, it looks good. It looks good enough to continue up to at least do this much right here. Bitcoin getting a drop now. It's back testing. It's back testing here. See if that's gonna hold. All right. This thing is giving me a hard time. It was a slight. Okay. Thank you. Good morning, Salty. It's a local double bottom ballot for a long here on BTC. I have several FOMO. Have not participated in the last 2 days. Don't FOMO. Don't FOMO. Are you talking about? You talking about this right here? This bottom right here. I'm not sure what bottom you're talking about. I wouldn't classify it as a double bottom though. It's not looking that strong to me. It's salty, particularly on the 15 plus play. I'll take that to have the full blown number. Yeah, that's what I was anticipating myself. Another move up. So I was banking on I was banking on this setup right here. Like, I know that we're between the 236 and the 382, and I figured both of these would do. The way we stalled out right here, I figured, price action, because we were so far from the mean, which is something I had posted the other day, that we probably get a lackluster pullback simply because we deviated so far from the mean. So only one or two things can happen. Either we drop real hard or we just consolidate and really don't go too far. And that's all we've done. And we've really fought to maintain basically I would say here where we got this structural breakout here from this rising pattern in here. So we're pretty much sitting on top of that, holding that. We had a better back test right here, broke through it a little bit. And when that happened, I figured maybe we just come down and tap the level without invalidating anything. And so far, it hasn't done that, but it's starting to look bearish because we've been sitting here for so long. It is throwing out a bunch of bearish signals at this point. So now, even if it came down, I don't know that this would hold. I don't know that it would. And the invalidation is here at this top. Actually, it's this wick up here, but yeah. I mean, I entered the loan myself, like I was sharing earlier. I entered the loan based on the momentum break right here, and then there was one on the 15-minute time frame too, which I didn't take the one from the 15-minute time frame, even though I saw it right here. I didn't take that one. I just wanted to avoid any noise that this one could have threw out, but it doesn't look too strong right now. This is, yeah, it doesn't look too strong, but it did not play out this double top right here. Now this is actually a double top. I'm not sure about a double. I don't see a double bottom in here, but yeah, it's not. It didn't even play this out, which would have gave you know that setup right here. And I think on the 4 hour, we may have come too far up now. I mean, we may have stalled here too long. Um, we just get swallowed whole. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna work. No, the higher time frames still look nice though. It's just a pullback that could happen here. Mm, yeah, the 4 hour, I think right here. Yeah. So this is the mean right here at the 50. This is really what I would like to get. Uh, retracement back to the mean again. But it's holding. Ah, For anyone who's looking to get in now, I mean, I don't think that it's the best place to get in at, but if you were looking to get in, I mean, your stop would have to be down here. Um, or just wait for a short setup, which if this plays out, it'll be somewhere in here. It's not that. If it's not this, then I think that we could get back to the channel, top side of the channel, which is going to be right here around 77. And I don't need that anymore. And the channel, of course, is this right here, where, if you were over here, it looked like we touched it, but we didn't. We just kissed that EWAP. Mm. Heard some people talking about, um, I don't know what they have in their head, but I was explaining this the other day. Above here actually puts us back into an uptrend by way of the monthly time frame, because above here puts us back above the mean on the monthly, and we've never crossed above the mean on the monthly and turned back down. I don't know. This looks more like a double bottom at this point. It just looks like a double bottom here and continuation up. It doesn't look like what the daily time frame looks like, which is, counter trend. So getting above here, that's something different. If we just wick, then that'd be one thing. But if we're above that, it's not the same situation. And I went through and I shared how at each occasion, just getting back above the 50, you see you don't come back. It doesn't come back. And this is every occasion where it crossed above the mean, it doesn't come back. And that's gonna be when yeah. So doing that, just kind of keep going. We had this one little situation in here, but and that's not the same. None of that's the same. Once we cross over here, that could make that the low, and the mean sits right here at that top line. So above that, yeah, it sits right there at that top line. And this is where we came above the mean. So we're not going back if we do that. And just consider that your low. And selling. So I guess bear signals. Well, we just have to look for this to hold up and play out. And if it does without any sort of invalidation, then we will go up there. I think I get stopped out of this. I can't really tell from this chart. I didn't take it from there. I think I get stopped out right below here. Yeah. So I guess it is this. I get stopped out of that long right here. The daily suggests that we could the daily, I mean, it's just a fast signal on the daily, but the daily suggests that, let me hide drawings for a sec. Daily suggests right here, 68,681 suggests that we could come back into here. That's a violation of what I was looking at, but that's what the daily suggests that we could do since I know this is sitting right there at the center right here. So we do something like that. We'll do something like that. I'm not anticipating that. Only other thing I could think of is that's the one, that's the two. And then if we do cross above that threshold on the monthly, then we'll be putting in the three and we'll be going back up. That's the only thing I can really think of. We'll be reversing back to the upside. And I said that would have been your low. said that suggested 68, right? Yeah, that suggested that. So hopefully that's not the case, but it does suggest it is here. And I'm saying 69,284. Is that the same thing I'm looking at over here? No, it's not. Yeah. So we'll see. Is it gonna be that golden pocket or we'll get this little bounce here instead? I think the masses will probably be happy with that golden pocket retracement. So capturing. But the trading week has been awesome. Um, the setups have been really good. I think everybody's really just waiting to see what the word is gonna be today with oil. I think that's the big thing right there right now is what's gonna be with oil. And then just looking at the S&P, it looks like it's gonna get a correction as well. And mainly everything retraced to resistance levels. Um, gold look like it might be trying to come back up again from here. Holding where the original strength actually came out of this second strength up there. Um, that rejected from that trend again. Pattern formation looks like it will roll over, but holding up. We went through here and took a look at the evidence as well. Silver has been holding this um, level down here pretty good. Because I was thinking if silver lost here, then we'd be able to pick up something right here. But it's been holding pretty good. I think platinum looks good. If I was trading something, it would be platinum. Copper did break back above this dimension line after the first rejection. So Yeah, I'm supposed to be the measured move on copper. Supposed to be like that. So it's going to come back down here to the trend line. And so far, it's holding up in the channel. We saw this, um, but I was like, nah, I don't want to take that. I would rather it come down a little bit more than come back. This looks good. This looks decent. But now I'm even later to the party if I were to try to take it. Um, it could fail, but it is a stronger looking chart. Usually when I see both of those cross up the mean at the same time, it implies strength, but it's not. I mean, inside range right now. So I don't know what's going to happen here. Oil slowly creeping on up. I know before I did this, I was looking at the resistance that's through here. So if I just take away, I was looking at the resistance that's right here, right in here. I was thinking maybe to push through that though and come up a little bit higher. That was prior to me looking at it in Elliott, just a simple pivot. And I think, I'm not sure. No, it's not even close to that. Not even close to it. Yeah. It's still above that. Um, it's in the same zone. It's not breaking down further at the moment. If you're into the stock market, a good chart that popped up yesterday from this platform that I use, um, it was SanDisk. They were like in the past 7 days, got pumped like 200% in like the past 7 days or whatnot. So I was sitting here looking at it. I posted on it yesterday. I didn't really, not too much information. Um, I'm looking for it to reject right here. This is just the single VWAP right here with the bandwidth 1. You can see how it runs parallel to the top side of this right here too. So it's like it's trying to cut it off right here. It's a double 4-5 in my opinion here. And if it comes back down, it may not even break here. It could. I mean, let me see. I was looking at it on the weekly. I put it on log. So you can see we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5 right here. And in case you're wondering about the VWAPs, how I plot them is based on raise or momentum lines. I plot them based on the momentum line. Where the momentum line starts at for that pivot is where and it may not be exactly on like this low right here because it has to match. That's how I do them. So you end up getting this right here. But the other thing that I noted in here is that if you're just on a RSI 28, like you're gonna find that that's your floor. You can see the divergence on this thing. Let me see if it didn't delete my information. Let me go to a daily and see if it's there. Nah, it's deleted. I hate that. I hate that, man. It's been deleted. Nah, that's total garbage. Let me put it back here. It's total garbage, but it's been deleted. Let me make sure. Yeah, it's gone. Got 24-hour. Hold on. I got some 24-hour stuff in here, but it's deleted down here. It was only 2 lines down here anyway, so it doesn't really matter. It still looks really strong from this point. And also, it doesn't. This just basically had this in here. Let me put my little drawing on it. Guess I had it set to that. I mean, you can see it. The reason why it's not falling over is because I got it set on the 28 right now. No, it's set on the 14. I'm sorry. It's set on 28. So it lines up. But the reason why it's not falling over is because it continues to put in bullish divergence. And it happens once it gets, let me put this on auto. It happens once it gets to 28. So if you just set this on a 28, you'll find that that's where it reverses at every time. It's just at 28 and turn that off. Hold on, turn the VWAPs off and turn those moves off right there. So right here, the red line is your 28 for your RSI. So every time it gets here, if it taps it, you can tell where it doesn't tap it. And you can tell where it, right here, it actually rolled over it a bit right there. And so you can see that right there. You can see it right there. But so far, when it comes back into 28, it bounces up. But if this is going to be the high for the 4-5, it's another bear div right here. You can see it. between this high right here. This might be exactly where it actually breaks below, so it comes back down. Maybe this time it'll break below it. I wouldn't look for it to go too far below. We'll see how long it dances around in here, how long it holds around in here. But that could be a top if you were looking to short. If you're impressed with the rally on this thing, I mean, they do hella good. You just need that RSI divergence to play out here on this 5 here. You might get a pretty good short out of this. Even if it's just taking out this low right here, it could be that it just breaks and takes out this low. If it's really overvalued, then I would look for this low to get taken out. But that's a huge drop from 791, so I wouldn't bank on that too much, but maybe something right here. It is a hellified chart, though. It is really, really, really a hellified chart. I wouldn't do the short until I saw a red candle, but I mean, if you did it now, you'd be closer to the top being validated, if that's going to be that top. Sandis, SNDK. Amazing rally. All right, Bitcoin still holding out right here. So holding on that 236. I don't know. I say we roll over though. I still contend with us rolling over until it invalidates the bearish signals. It points to down. I just don't know what to do with this. It just points to down. So I'm gonna do away with this. Good morning, welcome to YT. We're going to scout the way down. No, I took another short yesterday that I'm still holding on to. So, um, heck, if it's going down, I'm just trying to make sure that doesn't get stopped out. And I took this one. I was saying I retook it yesterday, and it was late because the first one I got stopped out of. The first one was when we initially came up right here, and so I didn't take this one until I think it was this top right here. So I'm trying to make sure I can still hold on to this little short I got now in case it does, get down. I would kill that short if it looks right and we get down here and that longer play out. But I took a fresh long this morning, and my stop is right here. So I might be. Let me see if I'm negative. If I'm still positive right now on that, I think I'm still holding up on that. I think. Hold on, let me get this right. Heck, I'm barely, yeah, I'm barely up on this. I'm about to get stopped out. 0.25. I'm about to get stopped out of this right here at this low. So first win in a while for you. Why Crypto YT, you've been tuning into this channel and I've given many setups. And why is this the first win for you? Not that I'm giving out financial advice, but I'm just saying. We had this one right here. You was on the stream, and it was a new guest in here. His name was San, something like that. And he was like, "No way, we going up. No way, we going up." And I was in here, and you was in here, and I'm like, "Man, we're gonna hold this right here. We're gonna go up. If we hold this, we're gonna go up." Gave the targets up here for one target was here, and the second target was in here. No, you should have taken that setup right there. You could have taken the setup that was over here. We did the one from here. We did another one that's here. But everybody would have got a better entry on this because it did come back up again. But that was this one right here. It did come back up again. So right now, I have to set it like this because if I put it over here, treat it like it's already done. If I said it like that, like this is still going right here. And this is the one where we had the two targets right here, the one here, and then the one here. And now we're doing this, and I'm assuming that we're going to come to this 382. I'm assuming that we could come to this 382. So that's why that's pulled like that, and that's why it's given that and that. And then, like I said, not to mention this long setup was given. It was another one given right in here. That one, this one didn't play out all the way, but it was a setup given. And then that one was given. All of this has been posted on X in advance. Like if it works, it works. This one's posted on X right now too. If we get into it, now don't FOMO. Just have a plan, execute the plan, and if the plan doesn't work out, then no, there's always another one. And this is my plan right now. So I only did a small bit on on this, so it won't hurt me to get stopped out at all. And I won't touch it anymore. And the only reason why I took it, oh, I didn't take it off the 15. It would have been a better entry. Only reason I took it was because of that momentum break right there. That's the only reason why I took it. When I woke up and saw it, I was like, okay, let me just go ahead and get in if it's gonna move up before it, gets outside this trend line because I don't want to play the breakout or anything like that. No, this is the plan right here. Getting it done too much. I think if we do this right here, like if we do something like that. I don't know what else this is right here because my fib isn't drawn from here. So I don't know what else this is. Is my fib drawn from here? No, it's not. My fib isn't drawn from there. I can't even remember where I drew that fib from. I've been sick the past couple of days. I'm starting to get a little better though. I am. I don't usually get sick. I think this is like the third time I can recall in my life. Not with colds anyway. I don't usually catch colds. The first cold I can remember, I was what? I was either late into my 20s or early 30s. That's the first time I'm telling my age right now. Trust me, I always win when I go to the fair and they do the guess your age. I always win. But um, yeah, that's the third time I can remember. Nicole. All right, I don't know what we're doing right now. They cannot be waiting for market to open. I mean, this is just still the plan. That's all I can tell you. This is still the plan for me for today. Is if we get a retracement, I'm looking for this to hold. This is the mean reversion on the 4-hour time frame. The longer that we sit here, I can see the more likely it is that price drops into it. But my fear at this point is whether or not we're going to hold it because we've been stalling out for a long time, a very, very, very long time. We've been stalling out. Yo, what? So you act like your shoe size. That is hilarious. There's nothing wrong with being a child at heart. There really isn't. There's a time and a place, of course, but there's nothing wrong with that. That's a beautiful life to have. To still feel like a kid, that's beautiful because adult being an adult is stressful. It is stressful. So if you can still have that energy where you act like a child, you doing real good. You doing real good. I love it. How long you been married? Walker to I see. How long have you been married for? Oh, thank you. I have to go over and follow you back. I will go in and follow you back. Is it this? I'm assuming. Let me see. Let me see. Let's see. You just joined. Hold on. Do you have a reading that states "Love me now"? Then that way I know if that's you. 4 years. That's beautiful. There's no such thing as old. There's no such thing. Well, there is. There's a feeling of old, but um, nah. You know, I set up a Discord. I've never made it public because I really don't know how to how to use it. I don't know what to do with that Discord, but I call myself trying to set it up. I even went in and paid for a bunch of stuff and realized everything is paid for. But I haven't made it public yet. It's just sitting there. So give me some time on that one. I've had a couple people ask me about it, but yeah, give me some time on that one. I think I've had it now for a few months, a few months just sitting there. And I want to be sure I can put the work in too. Some mornings you feel your age. You remember my birthday just passed, and then I get sick right behind it. So yeah, getting there. I'm getting there. I tease my siblings because I'm the baby. It's four of us, and we're all 1 year apart, and our birthdays are 1 month apart. And so I tease them that they're getting old, and I get to do that because I'm the youngest of the four. Oh, April 1st? you're an Aries too. I'm telling you, Aries are hitting, boy. Every time I hear someone say it's their birthday, it has been have said that it's their birthday. They're Aries. It's a ton of Aries in this world, boy. I think we dominate. Ooh, no wonder the world is crazy. I don't think we're as bad as Geminis. Oh my gosh. 16-year gap. Oh wow. My daughter would have felt that way. Um Good Lord. A 16-year gap. I have one child and I've always wanted her to have a sibling, but I haven't been, I wasn't successful. But at the time, that's exactly what my daughter said. Ma, and she says, Ma, now? Now? And I have always wanted a younger sibling, but I'm the boss of my siblings. So it's just like they're the babies. I have two brothers and one sister. You think my parents had a plan? I got one brother's the oldest, and my sister, and then my next brother, and then me, and then both for the boys' birthdays. Well, my sister's birthday is in January. Both of the boys' birthdays are in February, and then my birthday is in March, and then we're all 1 year apart. Yeah, 16-year gap. Wow. They're gonna freeze us out here. They're gonna freeze us out. Trying to see if there is a possibility of, I mean, there is a possibility of not playing out the bear signals. But we have a squeeze here. This is wild. In 3 minutes, I'm gonna know if we're gonna get that squeeze on the 4 hour where that signal usually would print downside. And then that'll be another time frame. Um, that's leaning bearish. Let's see. think this might. Let me see what else this is. See if I have it in here. Oh, I don't have it up here. 70. No, we're 71 to 80. That's a pivot, a weekly pivot. Are we holding that? Let me see if we're holding that too. Oh, we were holding it originally right here. So we're down below that weekly pivot again. Okay. Just trying to understand why we're having such a difficult time right here. Even though I would like, yeah, we come back to this. This is just good. This is good. And if we can get the energy to send us up after that. Um, but yeah, we have a weekly level right here. So that weekly level is right here. So it's yeah, it's this top. That's what we're stuck under. When we originally came up, I thought we would get hammered right here, which is why I put a notation on the 4 hour about that weekly pivot. I thought that's why I was like, I like that first setup if that one to work out instead of the fit retracement into the one. That was why I originally liked the other one because we had this weekly pivot here and it was the golden pocket and the point of control was sitting right here too. I thought all three of those would make that a great short. It's a ton of confluence, but we pushed through it and just tapped that VWAP. But that's what we're hammering right now. It's that weekly level right there. Yeah. And I put that this was a weekly. That's actually a daily. It's a daily. That's a daily, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that's a daily. I need to change that one. But that's yeah, we're not going up because we're hitting that weekly right there. All right, so the new 4 hour candle just opened. It still didn't give us that squeeze I was looking for, but I can see. Yeah, it still didn't give us that squeeze I was looking for. Oh well. Yeah, we're just waiting for the breakout between I mean, they all have an RSI squeeze though. 15 1 hour and 4 hour have an RSI squeeze. We're just not getting anywhere with this. Bulls are still very much in control on that 4 hour time frame. I guess it'd be another 4 hours or something like that before I can even see that squeeze come in. I just have to post that update on that. Um, you didn't tell me why crypto, so I can make sure I follow you back on X. Do you have a slogan in yours? No. Well, do you have a slogan that reads "Love me now"? Or is it still Y crypto YT on X? So somebody got a name that reads "Why crypto sucks." There's a lot of "Why cryptos" on here. All right, guys. I cannot say you'd be wrong for longing from in here because I did the same thing. Just in case we don't make it down here to the target. I'm just really compelled that we would get here. But to not miss an opportunity, I just cut my position size down because it's a lot of, it's a lot of what ifs in here right now with this. So um, I would just look out for this as a probability, as the possibility. I know a lot of people are gonna want this golden pocket. I think that's okay too. That is okay too. Just in case we do run over that mean on the 4 hour time frame. But below here is a no. I'm sorry, here. Tapping into this is a no-go for how I'm looking at it. So you don't want to tap this. You don't want to tap that. We tap that, then what I'm looking at for this is off the table. So very possible that it could reverse from where it is. Very possible that it comes back down here to this high right here, and we get the bounce from here instead. And then we look for to move up. I would have to adjust this a little bit, but it's somewhere in here that I would be looking at. So basically, taking out that high, basically taking out this high right here. We can take this high out and still not take out the boundary of that mother bar. You can see the mother bar from the weekly time frame, and you can see it from the monthly time frame as well. They're both the same top, the same, same thing. So we can still take this out and not see any closures or anything like that above the mother bar, which is where we would have to rethink the low. 'Cause that would be something different. I mean, we're far from a monthly close, also, so maybe they want to do it. I mean, we're far from a monthly close for it to be validated, but yeah, looking at this high getting taken out is basically what it's going to be. Yeah, who knows? Might be on to something even greater. But it's possible. I mean, it's possible that it doesn't come back down here right now. It's possible. It's possible. We traveled so far from it that I was just expecting for us to come back to it. It has risen up quite a bit since we've stalled out here the past several hours. We've stalled out, so it has given it some time to continue to push up higher. It's just, I don't know. It just seems like exhaustion for me. So if this is going to be it and we're not coming back inside this little breakout, um, I mean, take your chances. I wouldn't take the chances again right here, set your invalidation properly, cut the size because it would be a huge stop loss, cut the size and set the invalidation properly. So the next setup, you wouldn't enter again until the next setup played out. And that's it. Sorry. Bitcoin is back to doing nothing until traditional market opens. I'm sure we're all waiting for something to come in on look at SanDisk. This thing is amazing. Way too high though. $802. I gotta comb through some stock charts. I'm sorry. I just really gotta comb through the stock market some more. Jeez, stocks been killing it. Yeah. Oil is respecting the resistance level right now. Is that a possibility? No, not yet. It hasn't come up high enough. So that's it. I will update you on X. I appreciate you for being here. I am Down to Crypto TA. You can follow me on X at Down to Crypto TA. You can also follow the coin count. I don't really know how active he's been lately. He's been focusing on a lot of other stuff. I never got my coffee. So again, I think that it's a good time to lock in some profits. It's like no better time to lock in profits if anyone is in the short here to lock in some profits here. Um, but yeah, we get above that weekly level. That's holding us back right now. We're not even getting to the point of control. We're actually slightly missing that point of control because we're I mean, I use this sometimes, but for the most part, I rely on my pivots. But yeah, took that liquidity, and now we got this liquidity right here at the lows. Just we're not taking our highs anymore. So you'll know we're ready to rock and roll if we take out a high because we haven't been doing that through here. So take out that low that'll set us in here. And this VWAP right here, if you'd rather use VWAP, that one comes off of this green candle right here. The other one, you can see where that one comes from. I draw them off of momentum. And so that's basically where we've been. But yeah, we take out a high, you'll know we're there. I appreciate you, and I will see you tomorrow, and I will update on X. I'm learning that a lot of people don't actually have X, and I can understand. That's the only social account that I have. I don't have. I actually think I did sign up for like Instagram, but I've never used it. So um, I haven't used it. I haven't used it. And I followed like one person. So I got some work to do. If you know anything about Discord, let me know. Because I don't. I don't. I can use some help. All right. I'll see you next time.